What's up, everyone? I thought I'd do a rant video about the local ghost hunting groups in Salina, Kansas. Now, I've been getting a lot of pretty bad comments, derogatory comments, from local ghost hunting groups in Salina saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, what places are haunted, what places are not haunted. See, let's get something straight. Uh, I didn't choose to be a psychic medium, okay? I didn't wake up one day and watch ghost hunters and say, wow, I'm a psychic medium, or any of that shit. I was that way since I was a little kid. I was seeing ghosts since I was a little kid, okay? Uh, my mom was involved in the occult in Korea, so, you know, there is something there that involved me being born as a result of her occult activities. Now, you guys want to call me out as a phony, and that's fine. You know, I'm not doing it for riches and fame and glory and recognition. That's quite all right. Say whatever you want about me, but it's not going to stop me from making videos, and it's not going to stop me from going to places that I know to be purportedly haunted and tell people, my subscribers, that, you know, this place is haunted because of such and such reason. You guys want to make this a competition. You think making it into a competition that you'll make it to the top. It doesn't work like that. The spirit world doesn't work on competition like the physical realm. The physical realm doesn't matter to them anymore, okay? They can see what's within you. So when you guys go to a location and say, you look at one of my videos and I'm like, well, this place, like the downtown alley, which has gotten a lot of views, and a lot of people have criticized me for it, especially these ghost hunter groups in Salina, Kansas. You guys criticize me for it and you're like, no, it's not haunted, you're full of shit, you're not a psychic medium. It's like, I don't need to come out and tell people that shit, okay? I know it for a fact that it is, all right? I can see, hear, feel what is going on. It's not a fucking competition, all right? It's not something that I'm trying to rise to the occasion to prove to everyone. I don't need gadgets and toys to prove myself. I don't need footage. Even though I do have footage on my videos that there is, you know, that I can conjure this stuff up. Okay, I can conjure, I can bring about spirit activity in my apartment, and it's not even haunted. I can call upon the spirit world to show documented evidence that I have these abilities. You know, I don't need to be competitive and to call people out and to say, oh, you're full of shit, blah blah blah, this is, you're not real, blah blah blah, because you know, I know such and such ghost hunter, and I'm friends with such and such ghost hunter, and we're real popular and we're known. You live in fucking Salina, Kansas. You don't live in fucking Hollywood, okay? Like, I follow Amy Allen, okay? And I've commented on some of her posts and she's commented back. But I'm not saying that I'm best friends with her. I don't know the chick. But I'll tell you this, we do share the same abilities. What makes her different from me is that she's rich and famous and I'm not. And my ulterior motives of what's going on is not to be rich and famous, okay? My intentions are to be the best super psychic medium out there for my own abilities, all right? I don't need to run around to 50 different locations that 50 other fucking ghost hunters went to and say, and put up all my toys and gadgets and hope I catch paranormal activity when I'll never catch it, okay? I can go down here in Salina, Kansas, and I can use my sixth sense, or whatever you want to call it, my psychic abilities, my necromancy abilities, and they can hone in onto a location that is haunted. Now, when you go downtown in the Lee district of Salina has been around since the early 1800s, okay? Early 1800s. So there is going to be paranormal activity there, okay? You might not see it, but I've had friends who have seen stuff in their stores and say, there's something weird that went on here at one point, you know? I've had friends who said that to me. So I don't need some ghost hunter kid out there telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Because I can see, hear, feel, and sense these things, all right? I don't need assurance. I don't need the backing of 50,000 ghost hunters out there who don't have documented proof on any of their things and make for great television. It's not a competition for me. I do it because it is something that I am born with, that I have a gift with, that I'm capable of doing, okay? So it's not something that I came up and compiled in my head one day and said, I can do that shit. No, it's been something that has been a lifelong thing. And when this trend of ghost hunting ends, all right, because it will, there will come an end to it when people are no longer doing this thing. And they're like, well, you know, this is not cool anymore. You know, I'm going on to the next thing. It's not, you know, it's a waste of money to drive out all the way to Atchison, Kansas to a house that's been, you know, a historical house that's been, had ghost teams in there, I mean, 50,000, 100 times, you know, and nobody's got documented evidence of it. You know, I don't need to do that. I can go out in my backyard and say, this is what's going on around this area. I can see it, I can hear it, I can sense it, and all my senses are tapped into the spiritual realm. You know, it's not a competition for me. I'm not out there trying so hard to prove myself that, you know, I'm the number one ghost hunter, because that's not what I'm trying to do, you know. That's not what my videos are about. And you guys can come up onto my videos and call me all this shit, you know, all you Salina ghost hunter groups. You can call me all this shit. You can do whatever. And I'll take screenshots and post them up on my Facebook and Twitter, where I have a shit ton of friends who have psychic abilities, who are gifted with these abilities, who are involved in the occult, who are involved in the supernatural, whereas you guys are just doing it, you Salina ghost hunting groups, you guys are doing it for fame and fortune. You're doing it for the publicity, while we're doing it for the real reasons. We're not out there, you know, trying to run amok thinking we're gonna catch some ghosts, you know, on our camera. The first thing is, how would you like to be hunted? Okay, because I hate that terminology, ghost hunter. How would you like somebody to come up and hunt you? I don't think you would like that, first off. And some of these ghosts don't even know what these gadgets are for and these toys that you guys have. They have lived in time periods where that stuff did not exist, okay? So to them, they don't know what to do with it. Some of them do, but deep down inside, you have to open up your psychic mind to be able to work with this stuff. You can't have intentions in your heart and in your soul, because they can read through that stuff. They read through they're not bound by the physical anymore. The physical doesn't matter to them anymore. They can see through everything. So when you go up to their home that they've been living in for hundreds of years, okay, and they have some punk kid who barely has peach fuzz on his chin and hair on his balls, and he's talking a big game, and he's like, I'm a psychic medium and I can do all this shit, and I'm gonna put up all my toys and gadgets and see if we can get a hit off of it, you know, by these ghosts. they can see right through that shit. They know your intentions way before you even get there, way before you even considered to go there, and way before you even considered to be a part of a ghost hunting team. Those ghosts are able to see into the future and into the past, okay? So they even know before you were even born, you were going to come up to their home and disturb their peace and disturb their environment with your silly gadgets to prove whether a place is haunted scientifically or not. They don't give a fuck about that shit, all right? No ghost or spirit gives a fuck about any of that shit. They can read you. Imagine not having your body anymore, and the only thing you are is energy, okay? And that energy speaks. It says more than your facial expressions or what you're thinking in your mind, because they can read through that. They can see it. They're tapping into you telepathically, okay? You got to have some kind of telepathic abilities to be able to communicate with the dead. And that's what they do. They telepathically read your mind. And when you're sitting there for like 12 hours looking at a videotape and looking at these gadgets, they're standing behind you thinking, boy, this motherfucker is stupid. Why is he sitting there looking at this fucking thing? They see that shit. They know that shit. They can read through you. They don't need the physical anymore to tell them whether, somebody is, has a sour puss face on them or is being a bitch or being any of that shit. So you ghost hunter groups can call me out all you want. But this is a lifetime journey for me, okay? This is something that I was born with. This is something that I can do. And I'm not doing it for the fame and the fortune of being a YouTube celebrity ghost hunter. I don't need that. I can go, like I said, I can go to these places and tell you what's going on and who's there. And my friends in real life know that I have that ability. I have scared many of my friends, and they're very uncomfortable when I start talking about the paranormal, when they live inside certain places. And a lot of times they'll move the fuck out of those places because I'll tell them, I say, there's something going on here. And I can see it. And they'll be like, James, don't tell us. We know there's something going on. So, I don't need that stuff. And if you're thinking it's a competition with me, then you're wrong, because this is something I'll be doing for the rest of my life, while you'll be going on to the next fad or trend that pops up in the next 10 years. And you're like, I'm tired of this ghost hunting thing. I've spent all this money on these ghost hunting equipment and I'm not getting anything, and I'm talking to all these ghost hunters and they're falling off the radar. I mean, seriously. What would be better, instead of calling me shit like you're a phony snowflake and all that shit, why don't you ask me? We could use someone like you on my team. That's something you might want to consider. That might help your cause to have people like me on your team. Because like I said, I know 2 other people in this town who have the same abilities as I do. And they're not comfortable with them. And they see the ghosts. When I went over to one of my friend's house who has these abilities, I was like, there are some kind of spirit activities going on. And he's like, I don't talk about it, James. I know it's going on. And I'm not comfortable with it just yet. And I said, I understand that because you haven't been ready to tap into that part of yourself yet. You've repressed it. And I can read through that and I can see through that and I can tell you exactly how you can utilize those abilities. And he knows that now. But he's aware that I have that connection with him and that he has that connection too. And there's another guy that I know who has that ability, but he's not willing or ready to accept that. And when he is, then we'll probably be the best fucking ghost hunting team there's ever been. And that could be 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road. But like I said, you might want to consider to ask people like me if we want to be on your team instead of doing it for the fame, recognition, and glory that you so selfishly deserve. Because that's not what my intentions are. My intentions are to inform people, to show people things that they may have overlooked, to help people like you motherfuckers out there who want to talk shit to me and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. And then later you guys go down to those areas and set up your equipment and wait and wait and wait, waiting for paranormal activity to happen when it's not going to happen, because I've already telepathically communicated with the spirits in those areas. And I told them, don't even bother with that, okay? Don't even bother with them because they have bad intentions. So when you want to disturb the dead, you're playing with fucking fire, and that's not good. So that's what I want to rant about. Don't look for them, because if the dead has a message for you, they will seek you out. That's how it works. It's not about hunting them down, because they will hunt you down. And that's how it is in the spirit world. If they want you, they will look for you. You don't need to look for them. It's not a game of hunting for a deer or a pheasant or a rabbit. It doesn't work like that. It's on a whole different level. And the spiritual plane is a lot more complex than a lot of gadgets and toys you guys purchase for the fun of it, hoping that you might get a hit. It's not like fishing, boys. It's not. Okay? So that's what I have to say. Manji, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.